Today on Monkey Life, Alison and Jeremy return from Argentina with Sasha and Kangoo, two new chimps being given a home at the park. And Alison's anxious to see how well they've coped with the journey so far.
Hey, sweetie! Hi! Hi, Sashi!
Then it's back to Dorset to settle the pair into their new quarters as part of Bryan's group.
Trying to keep Bryan's lot calm so that Sashi can just enter the house nice and easy.
And Tuan's orangutans get a giant treat. But do you eat it, sleep under it, or wear it? Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's early morning at London's Heathrow Airport, one of the busiest travel hubs in the world. Thousands of people transit through here every day. And this morning, two very special passengers are due to arrive at the airport's animal reception centre. Chimpanzees Sasha and Kangoo. For the past week, Alison and Monkey World's animal director Jeremy Keeling have been in Argentina at the Buenos Aires Eco Park. They've been getting to know the two chimps.
Hey, Kangoo!
Learning all they can about the pair's characters.
Kangoo's personality is more plastic than Sasha.
And diets.
All of us here are working so hard to make sure that everything is perfect for the two chimpanzees, and that's what this is all about.
The Eco Park, formerly Buenos Aires Zoo, has been undergoing a big transformation. It no longer houses exotic species, focusing instead on protecting native wildlife. As a result, animals have had to be rehomed, and for female chimp Sasha and her son Kangoo, that's meant a 7,000-mile trip to Monkey World. Their journey started more than 24 hours ago, and Alison and Jeremy are now waiting to catch up with them at the Animal Reception Centre.
Now it's just a waiting game, and it's really hard after traveling so far and so long and spending so much stressful time and emotion making sure everything's right for them. You just want to see them and get them back to the park now, so we're so close.
The two chimps have been offloaded from the plane and are due to arrive at the centre any minute. 25-year-old Sasha and 15-year-old Kangoo have made the journey in individual travel crates. It's nearly 16 hours since Alison last laid eyes on them.
Just want to see them here and know that they're okay. Get them loaded in our van and back to the park. It's been a long trip and it's awful. I can't even imagine what it's like inside of those boxes for that long.
The individual crates are so big, the chimps need to be transported in separate cargo trucks. First to arrive is Sasha.
Hey, sweetie! Hi! Hi, Sashi! Good girl, I know! What you doing?
One of the keepers from the Eco Park in Buenos Aires has also made the journey.
Ah, Nico! Hello. Fantastic. Look, come. Look, your girl's right here. I think it's Sachi.
Nico will be a friendly, recognisable face for the pair as they start to settle into their new life at Monkey World.
That was nice and calm, happy for us to touch her finger. And yeah, really good. So now we just need to see Kangoo, wait for the paperwork, and then we'll be on our way. Almost.
Sasha is offloaded into a quarantine area. It's not long before her son Kangoo arrives too. Alison and Nico are quick to check him over.
All yours.
Kangoo, ¿estás enojado? Sí.
Good boy. Yep, all good. He seems really good. He's calm. I think he's a little bit sad and frightened because he doesn't know what's happening. And he's been away from Sasha for a wee while now, so they're going to get them alongside of each other while we wait for the paperwork to be finalized, and then we'll get them down to Monkey World and unload it as fast as possible. So far, so good.
Making sure all the paperwork is correct is always a laborious process. And while Alison waits patiently to hit the road, back at the park in Dorset, preparations are in full swing.
They've been in their crates for an awfully long time now, so I think they're going to be very happy to be out and in a bit of the bigger space to stretch their legs. I've got a lot of willow for food and for bedding as well.
The park's plan is for Sasha and Kangoo to join Bryan's small group of 5. Sean is hoping to start introductions as quickly as possible.
They will be very aware, like Brian's group, that there are new chimps in the house, and I think the longer you leave it, the more frustration would build. So we would probably go sooner rather than later. There's not a lot of predicting in chimp intros. You just kind of just hope for the best.
Back at Heathrow, there's good news for Alison.
All done.
Thank you.
Thankfully. Yeah, just a collection note for the ARC. So she needs it.
With the paperwork checked and signed, Alison's given the green light.
We're on our way now, and everybody should be fine. We just want to get them in the van and on the way to Dorset, and then perhaps we can relax and feel happy for the chimps, but not yet. Not yet.
First, the chimps need to be loaded into the park's transport van. Alison is delighted with how well the pair have coped with the journey so far.
This is a huge thing for them, and how well have they handled it? Really good. Really good.
With the travel crates secure, the team can start the 120-mile journey back to Dorset. It's the final leg of a very long day. Since Monkey World opened its doors more than 30 years ago, it's established a global reputation as a leading primate rescue and rehabilitation centre. It all started when Alison's late husband, Jim Cronin, rescued 9 young chimpanzees who'd been used as photography props on Spanish beaches. Since then, a multitude of different primate species have arrived at the park needing help. One of the more unusual rescues took place in 2018, when Alison was asked by Animals Lebanon to collect a pair of red-bellied guenons. They'd been intercepted by Beirut's airport customs as they were being smuggled for the black market trade.
Oh, wow.
Hi,
Hey, you guys.
At the time, very little was known about the species, other than they originated from the forests of Benin, where the population is in serious decline. Once they settled into life at the park, the pair, named Benny and Nia, thrived. They're now proud parents to 2 hyperactive youngsters, Biff and Nala, who like nothing better than running, jumping, and playing in the lovely outdoor enclosure they call home. Today, the care team have something a bit different lined up for the family of 4.
We've got some camellia flowers for the guenons today. Something that they haven't had in a while, so it'll be quite interesting for them. A lot of colour, interesting smell, and hopefully they'll have a nibble on them as well. Yeah, so we'll just scatter these around the enclosure, give them something to mess around with. I think the young girls will definitely be very interested, because they love stuff like this.
Earlier in the year, the guenon enclosure was completely renovated, gaining a roof and more space to move around. Lots of natural planting was added, but as leaves and bark make up part of a guenon's diet, the new trees were soon stripped bare. Today's more colourful offering is also completely edible.
When we can provide them something interesting like this, it will take up part of their diet, but to be honest, we're not actually sure if they're going to eat these, so it'll be quite interesting to see what they do. Otherwise, it covers all of our enrichment bases. It's very colourful, so it's visual, it'll smell nice, it's novel, and hopefully they'll interact together over it and we can see them how they socialise as well.
The family of 4 have been waiting patiently indoors, eager to get outside. The Guenons are often a little wary of unusual things in their enclosure, but the bright scented flowers and glossy green leaves draw them in straight away, and they're soon tucking in. The colourful petals are a definite hit, as are the fresh green leaves. They seem to be leaving the bark for later. The 2 youngsters, big sister Biff and little Nala, still get on well together, but there has been a change in recent months. While Nala is as bouncy and energetic as ever, Biff is growing up.
She's a bit more relaxed now. She still has moments where she'll charge around the enclosure with Nala, but she's spending more time with Benny and Nia and doing things that an adult monkey would do, you know, spending a lot of time grooming, less time playing.
The camellia flowers and branches have been spread all over the enclosure, so there's plenty available. But the Guenons also use their cheek pouches to store food. Once they've enough, they go to a safe place to eat their food in peace, pushing the food out from their pouches. Mum and Dad, Nia and Benny, have come a long way since the dark days when they were stolen from the wild.
One of the most important things for primates is social interaction. 99.9% of them are social animals. So giving Benny and Nia a little family unit was really important, I think. It's helped them behave naturally, it's helped them unlock behaviours that they wouldn't have been able to reach had they not had this family, you know, their caring sides, their protective sides. And seeing them now, they're just a happy little group, and it's really nice to see.
The arrival of autumn brings changes right across the park. And with it come plenty of opportunities for the primate care team to give their charges more unusual enrichment. The gardening team have been busy with seasonal jobs, including cutting and pruning back plants ready for the winter. These gigantic gunnera leaves have just been cut down, and rather than let them go for compost, the orangutan team have a plan. They're going to offer them up to Tuan's group of 6.
We'll see what they do. I think they're going to really, really enjoy it. I think Tuan will probably start eating it. If it starts raining a bit later, they might even use it as a little bit of an umbrella for themselves, as they do in the wild, because orangutans are very cleverly one of the only apes that will actually make a roof over their heads when it's raining in the rainforest. So usually use some big leaves or something like that to do it with. So yeah, we'll see how they go. I think it's going to be quite exciting for them.
Related to the rhubarb plant, the huge leaves are edible. But to encourage the group to be active, the team aren't going to make them an easy snack. They're spreading the leaves all over the enclosure, in the hope the orangutans will climb to reach them. And they've one particular individual in mind.
With Tuan, he's not the biggest one in our group, shall we say, that's into his climbing. He's an old boy now, and he is getting quite lazy sometimes on the floor, not so excited to sort of climb up really high to get his food, and he'll be happy with the food that's kind of closer to the floor or falls down from the others. So I imagine when Tuan comes out, the first thing he'll probably do is grab one of these and have a big go at it with eating it. If he likes it, I'm sure he probably will. If Tuan doesn't like eating it, I don't think the rest of them will either, but as I say, it's a new thing to them, so it'll be quite exciting to see what they all do with it.
James opens the slide to let the group out. Awan is first to the apparatus and on the lookout for food. At 10 years old, she's maturing and fast becoming a young adult, but she still has a playful side. With 3 other females in the group, she's had plenty of role models to look up to. Ame, Lucky, and Roro appear to have put past differences aside and are getting along a lot better. The group is led by Tuan, thought to be around 38 years old. He's been at Monkey World for more than 20 years, having arrived from the Pingtung Rescue Centre in Taiwan. He can be a bit lazy, which is why James and the team try to entice the whole group to climb for their food. But young Hujan is sabotaging their efforts. Not sure what to make of the large green leaves, he's throwing them to the ground. Where they're eventually received by Tuan, who then makes short work of the prickly stems.
So orangutans are obviously built to deal with quite hard, spiky plants. There's lots of spiky plants in the rainforest. Their skin is much, much tougher than human skin. So Tuan's doing real natural behaviours here with the gunner. He's ripping off all of the outside with his teeth, getting to that core and then munching it up, just like they would do in the wild. So it's really, really good for him, watching him do natural behaviours here at the moment, yeah.
Tuan's enthusiasm confirms for the others that the giant leaves are good to eat. However, Ame has different ideas, opting to make a nest with the leaves in her favourite location. Awan still isn't sure. She looks to Tuan for guidance and perhaps a few scraps. But orangutans aren't keen on sharing.
They're quite selfish animals when it comes to food, really. The only time you see orangutans socialising in the wild is when there's a big glutton of fruit. Happens more so in Sumatra than over in Borneo. So Awan being a little bit younger, she probably hasn't got quite as tough skin as the adults in the group. So what she's doing is waiting for the adults to strip it off, and then she's going in there to try and grab a bit for herself. So quite clever and sneaky of her, really, getting out of the hard work. So we'll keep on watching her throughout the day. She might get to strip it at some point, but I think her technique's a little bit more cleverer in that way that she's doing it at the moment.
It may work with the females, but Awan has a way to go before she can fool Tuan into sharing his food. Watching the group tuck into nourishment from an unusual source has been an interesting exercise for the team. And there's enough left over to provide a shelter for a little nap. Nearly 36 hours after Alison and Jeremy left Buenos Aires with chimps Sasha and Kangoo, they've finally arrived at their destination in Dorset. The pair's rehoming has been nearly a year in the planning and involved a lot of people. Some of the key players from the eco park have travelled from Argentina to help the 2 chimpanzees settle in.
Hey, Sweet Pea. Sashi. Hey, Sashi.
Hola, Sashita. ¿Qué te estás haciendo?
Where have you gone?
¿Llegaste,
There
mamá?
she is.
Llegaste.
Good girl.
Female Sasha is first to be unloaded. She's 25, a full-grown, hefty adult, and moving her inside the heavy crate isn't straightforward.
A bit further, a little bit further. Right, that'll do for the moment, right.
And she's let them know she's not happy. Jeremy and the team need to manoeuvre the crate up to the slide, which connects to the bedrooms in Bryan's chimp house.
Okay. On, go.
Bryan and his group of 5 are outside in their enclosure to allow the new chimp space to settle in.
Put him down for a second. Put him down for a second. That's heavy. Yeah.
The slide opening on the outside of the house has been designed to match the one on the crate.
Good. Yeah, that's near enough.
Trying to keep Bryan's lot calm and marry the box up to our house so that she can, Sashi can just enter the house nice and easy. So looks good in there. We've kept Bryan's out just so that there can't be too much disorder. But yeah, fingers crossed that they all are okay once we get them in. But...
Sean?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
Yep.
When everybody is ready,
Okay, it's going to happen.
Jeremy opens up to let Sasha in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Let's go. Yep.
She doesn't hang around, heading straight in, then cautiously taking in her new surroundings.
No, she's pretty nervous, but that's fair. Trying to be really cautious, but she's frantic right now. She's pacing the floor, looking at everything. She can hear chimps on both sides of her hollering. You've got Bart's big group, Bryan's out there. There's still banging happening because we're getting Kangoo's box up to the slide on the outside. So once he comes in, there's going to be hopefully a really lovely reunion, and then she'll calm down a bit more. So she's holding herself together pretty well. She's going to be a strong lady. Kangoo's coming.
The team get Kangoo's crate into position.
Hey, Kangoo. He's poised and waiting.
Jeremy opens up, with some help from Kangoo himself.
He's in.
And, just like his mum, Kangoo races straight through. Once he's secure, Sean opens the slide to reunite mother and son after 36 hours apart. They're pleased to be back together again.
Are you happy, Nico?
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm totally relieved that they're here. Our teams have come together perfectly to make the transition for Sasha and Kangoo really good. But at the same time, I'm now feeling my next chapter of anxiety about how we bring the groups together. But actually, this is brilliant, and they just need to be able to settle down. So we're letting everybody have a little look, say hello, and then probably we'll leave them with the chimp guys.
The two chimps will be given time to settle before the real work starts, introducing them to Bryan's group. The next chapter in Sasha and Kangoo's story is about to begin. Next time on Monkey Life. Comings and goings at the park as Marmoset family, the Simpsons, head off to a new home in Somerset.
All good. Marge and Nelson boxed straight away, and then Bart and Ralph just needed a couple of minutes afterwards to calm down.
Plus, the Barn Woolies welcome a new member to the group, baby Xena.